What's up everybody, Hawaiicalivegaz here. Once again, I'm Shane and today I'm going to be installing the other half of my DW injectors. Yes, I said the other half, and the reason why I'm saying the other half is because while installing my turbo kit, I had the opportunity of installing the two passenger side injectors. So today I'm going to be installing the driver side ones. And then I'll kind of give you I'll kind of catch you up with what I did to get the passenger side ones in. That way you're not left hanging without any instructions on how to do it, or at least how I did it. Alright, so one of the first things you're gonna want to do, and I know this from experience after two incidences. One while doing the Delicious Tuning Flex Fuel Kit, and another one when installing the injectors right there. Somebody told me in one of the comments or in one of the other videos was to pull the fuel pump fuse, I believe it was, and then prime it until it gets all of the pressure out. And we're trying to start it until you get all the pressure out. That way the fuel doesn't go spewing everywhere. Mine, after I went ahead and did that one and fuel decided to piss all over the place, I don't have any fuel pressure in there, so I'm not exactly sure how to do the fuse or anything like that, but just know that you need to get the fuel pressure out of the lines before you disconnect the injector or pull the injector out of the fuel rail. So since mine doesn't have any fuel pressure in it right now, we're just gonna get started. Alright, so we're gonna try to do this without disconnecting the fuel lines. And remember, as always with these videos, these are my DIMs, did it myself. These are not DIYs or how-tos. These are just kind of like what I do. So if anything happens to your car based on trying to do it yourself, it's on you. So I'm gonna try and do this without disconnecting the fuel line. I don't think we should have to, but based off of what I'm guessing, I'm gonna need a 12mm socket and a 10mm socket to pull off the injector cover, and then also the bracket that holds on some of the fuel lines. Alright, so the 10mm socket, which is that you're going to need, is to take off this bolt right here. That way you can move the bracket up and out of the way. I'm assuming that's all that's holding it there. So 10mm for that, and then if you see right down there, you got the 12mm bolt right there, and then another one right there in the back. So we're going to disconnect those bolts, get them out of the way, and that should give us access to the fuel injectors. Alright, so now that I got those bolts out, we're going to pull the injector cover off. This thing's a pain in the ass to get out with all the shit in the way. Alright, based on all the crap that I have in the way, this thing is turning out to be a little bit harder than I thought. I'm still going to work at it on how to get it out, but as you can see, this, ding, 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 are all in the way. Success! Gotcha! Alright, so I got that thing out of the way. Alright, so now with that thing out of the way, it leaves the fuel rail, which is this thing right here. Leaves that exposed, and then you're going to see a 12mm bolt right there, and there should be another one over there somewhere. So you're going to want to break those loose, and then the fuel rail should come off. Alright, there's one thing that I ran into that I noticed that would not allow me to get my socket onto the forward 12mm bolt. And what I had to do was actually disconnect the cannon plug or the connector from the injector. That way I can move or spin the injector forward, and you're leaving me plenty of room to get to the nut or to the bolt. So you'll see right there you have that 12mm bolt and that one right there. The injector itself is right here, and you can see that it spins. So when you spin it forward, it leaves you room to access that bolt. Alright, so I've got both of my fuel injector connectors disconnected, and then I have the two bolts that hold in the fuel rail. I have those out, so now I can just pull the fuel rail out of its spot. Alright, so there's actually another plug that's kind of holding on. I'm not sure what that piece is, but it's holding on, and the fuel or the wire harness is mounted to the fuel rail. You'll notice that. So it's a little tight, and then this is the part where on that side is where I had my issue with the fuel pissing out of the fuel injector. So hopefully, since that side is unpressurized, I would assume that means this side is unpressurized as well. But in case it's not, be very careful when pulling out your injector, otherwise fuel is going to piss out all over the place. Alright, so a little bit came out, not too much. Now with both of the injectors out, I have the stock injector and the DW injector for comparison. When you purchase the DW injectors, or at least when I did, I'm not sure if they all come with that, but I got mine from MCC Motorsports in Las Vegas, Nevada, and when purchasing it from him, I got the injector along with these clips. These clips are necessary because the connecting ports or the connector parts of the injector are different from the OEM to the DW. So what you need is this adapter harness right here to convert you from the factory plug to the injector's plug. And that's what I've got here. So you can also notice that there's a pretty significant difference in size, physical size anyway, with the injectors. They already have the O-ring on it. If you're buying yours used, to make sure that you do have a new O-ring on here, otherwise it's gonna leak. Another thing you're gonna wanna do is before installing these injectors, you're gonna wanna take the grease or lube, super lube that it's called, that comes with the injectors, and you're gonna wanna put it on the O-ring, so that way when you're installing them, the O-ring doesn't pinch, bind, or anything like that on the way in. Alright, so I just installed those two DW injectors, and one of my little buddies over here from across the street, Miguel, stopped by, and I asked him, do you know what I'm doing? Or he asked me what I was doing. I told him that I was installing injectors, and he knew what it was. How old are you?
10.
He's 10 years old and he knows what injectors are. Huh? That's cool. So he just wanted to say something. What do you want to say?
Hi.
Hi who?
My mom and dad.
Hi mom and dad. He's over here helping me work on my car because nobody else is outside playing, so Phoenix life. It's kind of hot. Alright, so once you have those injectors installed, you're going to want to take your clips and connect it up to the injectors, and then hook up your factory connector to the clip connector. I don't think I'm going to be reinstalling that injector cover, mainly because I'm probably going to go with some aftermarket cover. Why not? A little bit of engine bay bling. One important note: when installing or connecting your two connectors, you're going to want to make sure you hear a nice solid click. Alright, so I installed both of those without disconnecting any fuel lines. It was a pain in the butt, but you can do it too. Now it's time to that 110mm bolt. 10mm bolt? You need to make sure you put that one back in to hold down those fuel lines, or hold down that bracket. 10mm bolt, bracket. Alright, so I got that 10mm bolt back out. I have the fuel injector cover off still. Two 12mm bolts that go right there and right there. Injector clip right there, that black thing, and another one right here. You can see the harness connector right there. So make sure you get nice solid clicks when you're installing those. And what I do to make sure that the injectors are in there pretty well, because these injectors are a lot shorter, so I'm not sure how well they're gonna seat, but I go ahead and grab the injector and see how hard it is to spin them. Hopefully that'll give me a nice solid seal. Do you know what that is?
Microphone.
Yeah, so it points forward so it gets what you're saying, but if it's facing the other way, then it's not really gonna hear what I'm saying. Alright, so since I already did the passenger side injectors, I'm going to kind of tell you what I did, or try my best to tell you what I did. That way you know what you need to do. So when you have your factory injector cover, you're going to have to disconnect the injector module. And there's three 10mm bolts, 1, 2, and then there's a third one kind of way down under here. Kind of a pain in the butt to get to, but it's down there. After that, you're going to be removing the injector cover, which is held on by two 12mm bolts. There's one here, and then the other one I have to find. I've installed the DW supplied injector clips that are going to convert it from this style, the OEM style, to the required clips for the DW injectors. So after pulling out those two 12mm bolts, you pull them out, and you can see right here how the injectors are. Pressure is now released. Now I'm gonna smell like gasoline. Come out. Alright, so that was the installation of both of those, or all four of the injectors. I'm gonna try it out by just priming the system. Hopefully there's no leaks, and when priming it, you're gonna find out whether there's leaks or not based on if there's fuel pissing all over the place or not.
No leaks, no leaks, no leaks.
No.
Alright. Thanks, Miguel. You're a great cameraman. Alright, so I know we just did this side and there's probably a little bit of fuel left around, but it seems to be pretty dry. You would normally see fuel spraying all over the place, and this side Nope. Looks pretty good. All right, Miguel.
This was Hawaiicalivegaz.
Yeah.
Miguel, how you install DW injectors. If I can do it, you can do it.
Booyah!
Booyah!